Good morning. I'm Kim from Solidarity Community Federal Credit Union, and today we have Jessica with us and Jamie from Samaritan Caregivers. Jessica, we're back at it again.
That's right. This is the Ripple Effect podcast, thanks to Solidarity Community Federal Credit Union. That's us. And we started this podcast thanks to our friends at the Kokomo Post to really highlight the local not-for-profits doing great work here in our community. These organizations create a ripple effect that help people everywhere. Jamie, like Samaritan Caregivers, what a great organization. Give us the basics. What is it?
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. Thanks to Solidarity. This is a great opportunity to share with people that might not know Samaritan Caregivers, small nonprofit, been around for almost 30 years. And what do? We provide free help for people 65 and over who are living independently, living at home in Howard County.
You know, every time I see you, Jamie, you know what the first thing is I think of? The chocolate celebration.
Right. Well,
I know. And I'm just like,
not bad.
What a great thing that you do, and everybody comes out with their best chocolate. And of course, we all love chocolate.
And we were the People's Choice Champions this year.
You were.
Hey,
we didn't
what do you
make
think
it,
about
but-
Solidarity?
That was an amazing cookie.
Yeah, it was so good. If you like delicious cookies, Aaron and Rich from Tipton made them for us. So
Wait, I was going to say we stayed up all
we
night.
stayed up all
I mean,
night.
we stayed up all
And
night.
definitely in a commercial
Well,
kitchen, Jamie. so
those
don't worry about
cookies
that.
fed a family of 4. Let me just
were
tell
massive.
you. They were
One
amazing.
cookie too?
Yes. Well, we sliced it up because it was so tall and rich with all of the things. Anyway, yes, it was a great cookie, and congratulations on winning
You
that
know what? I
division.
don't share, so I'm glad you said that.
Oh, well.
That would be hard for me, but that's okay. I understand.
You know, it's a unique thing, but I'm so glad. Chocolate Celebration is a great way for people to support Samaritan Caregivers.
Yes.
And in essence, when you buy chocolate tickets and you enjoy wonderful chocolate, you are supporting our organization and making it possible for the services to be free to people who truly cannot afford it.
Wow. You help people that are by themselves at home, or can they be married with no children? Of
Yes.
course, at that.
Yes.
Even with children, if they live far
Because
away,
some
they
parents
qualify?
do
Right.
take on their grandchildren.
And that's
grandparents,
that's
yes.
exactly what happens. That I like to say that when you are an older adult and you have money, you have resources, and you have helpful people in your life, you're all set.
Not everybody has that.
But and so many of the people we serve, they get pretty emotional when they
Yeah.
talk to us about how this is not the way they thought their life would be. Relationships have failed.
Loneliness.
That breaks
is
your
probably
heart.
terrible.
Absolutely. Yes, no children, not on good terms with children, spouse passed away, was never anyone in their life, or just a whole myriad of things. And your health. It's all
Wow.
good when your health is good, but
Right.
then when something happens and you're not able to drive anymore, your independence is so impacted.
Right.
Yeah.
I
That's the
know that when, if I'm ever available for this, I would definitely take a look at Samaritan Caregivers. But on the other hand, I have Jessica.
I will be her Samaritan caregiver when that comes.
What we'll do is we'll sign Kim
We'll get
up
Kim
to be
signed
a
up.
client, and then you'll get credit. We'll
There
get
you
credit
go.
for your volunteer hours.
you go.
And that's something else that people might not realize. The organization has been around for nearly 30 years, and in recent years, we typically will have over 8,000 hours of volunteer service.
Wow, that's a lot.
And we will help between 300 and 600 people, just depending on the year. And many of those people we help on a very regular basis. They either get a ride almost every week because they have a lot of medical appointments.
Sure.
Grocery shopping.
Absolutely. Or this is not, the people that we help are not a good fit for internet banking. Sorry.
Oh my goodness. No.
We understand.
We want that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
We love it when people are aware of that.
That's right. And you don't want someone driving their car through your front door.
Not again. We don't.
Oh, yeah, that's not a
Not
good
again,
thing.
you
Not a
don't.
good thing.
So that's where Samaritan Caregiver volunteers come in. So rides, when you think about what do we do, rides are something that's really important
Yes.
to people to maintain their independence. And then we have a pen pal program that is our adopt a grandparent program. You love that?
I love this. I think it's such a sweet idea, and I love that you're bringing kids into it. Oh, it's adorable.
There are, on a regular basis, about 52 teachers in area schools and over 1,100 students who write during the school year once a month.
I had no idea.
It's such a great.
Oh my
such a
gosh.
great
And so
program.
do you deliver the letters or?
They mail them.
Okay.
We have a system by which we give out the addresses and we
Okay.
maintain the confidentiality.
Sure,
But
sure.
the teachers use that. Some of them are a combination of art teachers and language arts. So they make their own cards and then they learn about cursive or handwriting and what to put in a note. And we have people who will call the office. We had a gentleman that called the office last year and he said, I haven't gotten a Valentine in the mail in 10 years.
That is so heartwarming.
Isn't that so
You're
sweet?
going to make us cry.
I know. Well, it's something small that many people,
Right.
when you think about a volunteer opportunity, sending a card to one person once a month is not a big deal. You can do that in your pajamas drinking
Right.
coffee, right?
Right.
Well, does it have to be only through the schools, or can you do that
No,
independently?
we have about 30 people who write year round. And then we have some other groups and people that fill in that gap and say we're summer writers.
Wow.
So they just fill in while the people are not getting so much. So there's the pen pal. And it isn't really a pen pal relationship in the respect that
Right.
you're going to get a letter back, but a few do, but most don't have the means or the health to respond.
Right.
But that's the concept. We do Medicare counseling, and we have started that because so many of the people we serve are very confused about their Medicare.
Yep.
And it's confusing.
So I have to add something on the Medicare part of it,
Okay.
but there is a lot of fraud going on with Medicare.
Absolutely.
And so something that you may warn your clients about is that they may receive a phone call and Medicare may state to them, I need your card number. And definitely it's a scam. So tell them no,
It
warn them
is.
all. Yes.
We actually, that is such good advice. And when I say that to people, I get things like, but they're so nice.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
course they are.
Yeah, they're nice enough.
They're
gonna-
nice until they're pushy.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
want your information.
Yeah.
So
and
that's
Medicare wouldn't call you and ask you for that information because they already have it.
not even Solidarity
Yeah.
would call you and ask you for
No,
that over
ma'am.
the phone.
Nobody's going to call you on the phone and ask for your entire social security number either.
Or
Right.
anything.
Yeah.
No. And that's part of the education. So Samaritan Caregivers is affiliated with the state of Indiana for a program called the State Health Insurance Assistance Program, SHIP. But our staff are trained by the state, which comes down from the federal Medicare and then the state applications on how best to help people stretch their healthcare dollars. What's a good plan? What is it involved? We are not, unlike the people on television who really are very fraudulent about what they're saying and what you get in the mail. That's all commission-based sales driven. They're selling you something, and it might be a great plan for you, but it might not be the best plan for you as well. So our representatives just print side-by-side comparisons and help people and their families decide what's best for you. We also unravel some problems. Can you imagine what it's like if you had a spouse that passed away and the funeral home reported to Medicare that you died?
Yeah.
And you go to the doctor
That's
and
so
Kim
sad.
says, I'm here with my Medicare card.
Yeah.
And they're like, you have no coverage. So we can address some things from the admin backside, higher up the ladder, that makes it easier to solve some knotty problems that people run into. And the other part that you just mentioned is Medicare fraud. And there's something called Senior Medicare Patrol. And that means that we help Medicare people to prevent and to identify and to report Medicare fraud.
So are you able to go out into the community and maybe do a lecture, maybe at the Senior Citizens Building or someplace like that, and talk about, how to stretch your dollar and these services that are available and help prevent some of this fraud?
Absolutely. It's not me.
Right.
It's the people who go to the training. But yes, we have qualified people who, again, will not sell anybody anything, will just give you information that you can use. The last thing that Samaritan Caregivers does is our grocery program, and that is by far our most popular program right now. And we provide $60 in groceries and household items to 45 people every single month.
Wow.
And that's thanks to the City of Kokomo, the Community Development Block Grant money, which is HUD money that comes down for the betterment of your community.
Right.
We get money from them. And then we are really appreciative of Community Health Network, who for the second year in a row have given us money with their health equity grant because they're concerned about senior food insecurity.
Right.
And so we, it's very respectful because we call and we get, like Kim, we would get your list, say, Kim, it's July. What do you want from the store this month?
Chocolate.
Okay, we'll put that on the top of the list for you. There you go. And a lot of people who have limited means are used to existing on shelf-stable food. So mostly canned food.
Right.
Fresh fruits and vegetables and those types of things are a real delicacy to folks who haven't had them in a while.
And that's something that they really need the most of.
That's such a good point, that your health and well-being depends on getting healthy, nutritious food. And if you can't afford it, then you don't buy it.
Right.
So this has helped them to do it. And then because we have such great volunteers, they shop it and they deliver it. So it's all free.
That sounds
to
like
people
fun,
who
kind
really
of, to
need it.
volunteer
awesome.
doing that, buying somebody
That
else's
is
groceries.
awesome.
They do. We shop at Kroger, Aldi, and Meijer, and a lot of people just shop at a place where they typically are going to shop anyway.
Wow, that's a great idea.
Yeah, it works out.
Something I want to point out, and I think a lot of times we forget about our seniors. As a
Right.
whole, we focus, when it comes to these service programs, we focus on the kids and literacy, and we kind of let our seniors fend for themselves. And we can't keep doing that.
No.
We definitely can't keep doing that. Loneliness is killing people.
It is. It is a serious, serious epidemic, really. Epidemic. COVID kind of started it, that isolation, and then it just got worse. And older people are more susceptible to it.
Just like the card program, the writing program, the pen program, when you send someone that, they have a sense of meaning just that one time, and it makes a complete difference in their thinking process. And they
Absolutely.
know people care. So that's amazing.
That is it exactly, that someone cares. And it doesn't really matter that they don't know who it is. There's just a card with a smiley face that said, I hope you're
love
having
it.
a good day. And that and most older people get what in the mail?
Bills
and
fraud,
junk mail.
credit card offers.
Yes.
Just
So something with Jessica's name on it. And you go, oh, who sent me this?
Yeah, it looks at the card. And they do a really good job now of making things look like.
Right.
Like, quit doing that.
right.
Yes.
Quit it.
So it's been a real blessing. We also have, and I didn't mention this, but we also have groups, businesses, people who just send at Christmas time. And because the whole reason we started the Adopt a Grandparent program years ago, a lot of people have heard me tell this story, but I'll never stop saying it. I went to someone's home and she said, she had the card and she said, I just want to thank you for the Christmas card that I got. And I said, well, I'm glad you loved it. We kind of complain in the office about the postage and the addresses. And I said, I don't even sign them myself, really. We have a volunteer, has that wonderful Palmer penmanship, your friends at
Nice.
Samaritan Caregivers. And what do you suppose that she told me about that card?
What? You're going to make us cry, aren't
I imagine, was it around Christmas time? Is that what you said? I imagine that it was probably the only bit of love that she got in a lonely time period. And it's worse. The holidays make it worse on people for sure.
Absolutely. It was the only Christmas card she got. And so out of that sprung the Adopt a Grandparent program. And Christmas is still a really important time. And now the people we serve get lots of Christmas cards.
I love it. I love it. That is awesome. Oh my gosh, how exciting. They have so much that they can do for our senior community.
Absolutely.
That is amazing. We love them. They made us who we are, and we can't forget about them.
That's a great point. And some of the things people say, well, what kind of impact do you have in the community? Well, some of the stories are that there was a couple named Reuben and Maria, and they needed some help because Reuben was in a wheelchair. And they were used to going to Walmart one time a month to do everything they needed to do, to buy everything.
That is efficiency.
Yeah, they didn't have a lot of money, and they were paying sort of I'm going to say a ne'er-do-well kind of fella from their neighborhood to meet them at Walmart, because they took the city bus, and push either the cart or push Reuben in the wheelchair, because you can't do both.
Right.
And so I think it was maybe even only in that time $10 he was giving him. And he kind of hurried him along, and he just had wanted the money. And so when we explained that was what their request was, will you have someone meet us at Walmart and help us with that?
Right.
And we said, well, sure, we can find somebody to do that once a month for you. And Maria said, I have a question. I said, well, what? She said, would the person that you get, would they be nice to us? Would they be nice to us? So that's the kind of thing that our volunteers typically are, nice people and caring people. And then I have another story, and Jessica, you might remember that you delivered groceries to Colleen
I was
once.
actually just thinking about that.
You were
Yes.
delivering groceries to Colleen.
Me and my buddy Ben.
That's right. We've got that on tape somewhere. Maybe it's a YouTube sensation by now. I don't know. Anyway,
A million likes.
That's right.
Yep.
There you go. There was a day that one of our volunteers called Colleen before Thanksgiving to wish her a happy Thanksgiving. And it took a while for her to answer the phone. And when the volunteer got to talking to her, she was saying to us, something is wrong with Colleen. We can barely hear her voice, and she's making no sense at all. There's something wrong.
And she lives alone,
Yes.
all by herself.
On the north end of Kokomo. No family and friends locally at all. Samaritan Caregivers really are her people. And so we requested a real quick welfare check from the KPD. And he got a key from the neighbor and went in, and he found that Colleen had rolled. She wasn't well. She was not feeling well. And she had rolled off the bed and wedged herself between the bed and the wall and could not move. And had been there some time without anything to drink or anything to eat, and of course was incoherent. And when the ambulance came, and later the ER doctor had told us that if she had just been there another few hours, she wouldn't have made it because she already had a lot of serious health issues, and she was stressed out by that.
Thank God for volunteers.
Yeah. Absolutely. And so the last one I'll tell you is that we had a lady, and Jack, our volunteer, would drive her for grocery shopping. And so he was supposed to pick up Mary, and she lived in an apartment complex. And typically, our volunteers will call when they're on their way and say, hey, Kim, we'll be there in 15 minutes.
Hurry up, stand outside. Yeah. They don't say that.
No, but they say, and you say, was that today? Oh, yeah. Okay, let me get dressed right quick. I'll be ready. Anyway, Mary was she was a real dependable grocery client, and Jack was on his way. But he called us and he said, I called Mary and I didn't get an answer. I don't know if she's just stepped out or in the bathroom or what, but I wanted to let you know I didn't get it. So why don't you try, and I'm still on my way. So he got there, we tried, we didn't get an answer. She didn't answer the door, and he said, I don't know what's happened. We always fear that someone's fallen.
Right.
And they're unconscious, and that's not a good thing. So he said, well, I'm going to head back home, but, God is just so faithful that the apartment manager happened to come by, and Jack, being the caring volunteer that he is, said, I was supposed to pick up Mary in this apartment, and she's not responding to the door or her phone, and we're kind of concerned about her. Apartment manager had a key. Mary was sitting in her chair with her purse on the floor, and she had passed away waiting for Jack. Now, that's sad enough and tragic enough. However, she did not have people either. And we just don't know if Jack had not found her
how long
quickly,
she would have been in there.
Gosh. Oh, my goodness.
until someone noticed that her mail hadn't been picked up, or the apartment manager had, because she wasn't out and about a lot.
Yep.
So what impact does Samaritan Caregivers have on the people we serve, on our community?
Yep,
That's
absolutely.
amazing.
That's it.
Oh my gosh.
Now, we've been talking a lot about the great volunteers at Samaritan Caregivers. How do we sign up to volunteer?
The easiest way is to go to SamaritanCaregivers.org online.
Easy peasy. Samaritan
Easy peasy.
Caregivers.
Google
Easy.
us. We'll come up. Or, if you're old school, you can call us at 453-7611, or pop in the office across from Kokomo High School at 2705 South Berkeley Road. We're there a lot.
They would love volunteers. I mean, if you have just a couple of hours that you can help out, definitely give them a call. Definitely show that support and that love, because one of these days we're all going to be in the same position. Mm-hmm. And we would hope that someone would want to take care of us the way we want to take care of them. And it doesn't hurt to give back just a little bit.
And that really helps to maintain the independence and the dignity and the quality of life that we all want to have.
Right.
I just want to put this out there, too, for folks. If you live in a neighborhood where there are some older folks living by themselves, just check on them every once in a while. Create that relationship. Give them your phone number. Check on them. Jamie, thank you so much for joining us from Samaritan
welcome.
Caregivers.
Thank you, Jamie. It's always been a pleasure, and I can't wait to see you next time with chocolate.
I was going to say,
I'm just
first
saying.
Friday in May
Oh.
next year,
Next
2025.
Always
Oh, my
look
goodness.
forward to it.
And you're going to be bringing some good chocolate from Solidarity, aren't you?
We always do.
All right.
Always.
Thank you so
We
much.
always
Look
do.
forward to it.
Thank you.
Thanks,
you.
Jamie.
I'm Jessica from Solidarity.
And I'm Kim.
We also had to thank Jamie from Samaritan Caregivers. Thank you so much for watching the Ripple Effect podcast. We'll see you next time.
Have a great day.